Hello once again, folks, and welcome back to Retro Rant. Almost forgot what the show was called for a second. Today we're playing Doom 64. This is the Doom 64 Absolution version, which some kind soul made, so you can play it on PC. And you have mouse look, and you know, the resolution is, you know, HD resolution, which was never possible on the N64. And, you know, this may be shocking to some people. I know it's not a very popular opinion, but I think Doom 64 is my favorite Doom game. You know, I love Doom 1 and 2. I love Doom 3. And I think Doom 64 was the game that made Doom 3 possible. But of course, it doesn't get talked about a whole lot. It's not as popular. It might be the least popular entry in the franchise, but it has kind of a cult following now. So if you get the opportunity to play this version of it, highly recommended. It makes it very enjoyable. No awkward N64 controller to muck with. Secrets. And the mouse look is very welcome, as you can imagine. So yeah, let's go get the secret. Secrets. So the topic for today is, we're playing Doom, and it's Doomsday. Doom and Doomsday. Thought it was a nice combination. I know we recently did Doom 3, but that was more about game design. So this topic is a little bit different. And I hate to be Debbie Downer. I hate to be the pessimist, but that's kind of what's going to happen today. I love to lock you in here with these guys. There we go. I took a little damage. But I've been reading articles on the topic of planet-wide extinction events. Let me get closer to this thing here. Planet-wide extinction events, specifically human extinction events. And it's not looking good. It's really not. Now, I don't know how any of you feel about this particular topic, but we're going to have to talk about climate change, otherwise known as global warming. And I know there are folks out there that are sort of, I don't know how to put it nicely, but climate change deniers, I guess, would be the way to describe this. And I'm not interested in that debate. I'm not going to debate whether or not it's real. It is. It's measurable. It is happening. And it's largely, not completely, but it's largely our fault. Or we are the cause of that. And see, on the Doom 3 video, I was talking about the last monster in the exit room, and there it is. So, let's see. Do I want to get the secrets? Yeah, we can get some secrets. Well, shit. Can we? Am I capable? Nah, screw it. Let's just keep going. Let's see how far we can get. Because that is sort of the theme of the episode today, too. How far can we get? How long do we get to survive? And some estimates are pretty bleak. The article I read, yesterday or today, was not very optimistic. And it was suggesting that due to rising global temperatures, which is not, you don't want that to happen on your planet. Okay, look at Venus, right? we don't want to have a Venus on our hands, but that we might start to see mass extinction events of endemic species, which are species that are widespread. These are not the ones that are currently in danger of extinction. Endemic species would be the species of a particular area that are common to that area and are widespread. So rates like 15 to 20% of endemic species disappearing in some regions, and depending on, you know, what area you're talking about. I think for North America, it was something like 15 to 20% extinction rates within the next 30 to 50 years, with, you know, unreasonable amount of Oh, they changed the puzzle. Oh, they make this puzzle easier. Awesome. That's cool. I couldn't figure it out before. I tried to record this episode once earlier, and it just went poorly because I was trying to solve this puzzle the way that you normally would in the N64. I kept dying, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. Anyway, yeah, so that's troubling. That's troubling, and you know, the thing that people like to focus on with, you know, climate change and global warming is the rising sea level, which of course is part of it. You know, that's going to happen too, but it may not be the most pressing threat. Okay, that's kind of the... Oh, I didn't get the minigun, did I? Oh well. There we go. It will be a threat, though, and it will be a problem, but I was educated, I guess. I was informed that it may not be certainly not the only concern that we're going to have. So rising sea levels, yes, but other problems include a significant shrinking in the arable land, right? A shrinking of the areas where it's possible to grow food and raise livestock. Jeez, these guys are tough. Which, as you can imagine, is a big issue. Changes in, or reductions in the amount of oxygen that's produced, because plant life, you know, is going to struggle. So that's an issue. Specifically, places like the Amazon rainforest, which I learned produces roughly 20% of the world's oxygen, and it's right in that zone, man. What we call the equatorial belt, near the equator, where am I going? Did I miss a key? I must have missed a key somewhere. Go down here, I think. The equatorial belt, where you know, a large portion of climate change is going to affect that. Oh, jeez, come on. Now I'm just being stupid. Okay, there we go, red key card. Then you have to go back through it. Goodbye. So yeah, food may be becoming scarce in the coming decades, and I'm talking decades. This is not centuries away. This is could very well be within our lifetime, which is the terrifying part. Even my lifetime, which, you know, I mean, if you're younger than me, then, you know, you might be seeing some shit as you approach old age, and even as I approach old age, you know, within the next 30 to 50 years, or perhaps towards the end of the century. Even if things do change, the outlook is kind of bleak. Oh yeah, I like this part. A little bit bleak. Even if things do change, like the Paris Climate Accord, right? That for some reason the United States is not supporting. I don't get it, but whatever. It's not my job to understand politics, and I don't really like to talk about politics that much because it can, you know, makes people angry, and it can get depressing. So let's jump down here. I can't remember if there's fall damage in this game. Doom 64, just as an aside, Doom 64 was the first legitimately 3D Doom game. So yeah, they didn't have a jump button yet, but that I'm aware of anyway. But it was legitimately 3D. The first two Dooms were 2.5D. It just kind of created the illusion of 3D graphics, and this is actually 3D. This is also, I believe, the only Doom game not made by id Software. I believe it was made by Midway Games. So they made Mortal Kombat, I think, and you know, everybody knows Midway. But yeah, they made a Doom game for the N64, and nobody knows about it. It's awesome. Anyway, so back to the issues here. So you've got temperature concerns, because in some areas we've already seen that starting to take effect. Today where I live in the southeastern United States, it's 95 degrees outside. And, you know, one day doesn't even begin to make a case. Even 1 year or a couple of years doesn't begin to make the case for that. But the trend has been a subtle increase. I think 1.2 degrees Celsius since we started measuring global temperatures in the 1880s. Correct me if I'm wrong about any of this. Like I said, I'm working from memory here. But that's, I believe, what the article said. Whoa, I don't want to do that, do I? No. Hang on. Oh, yes, I do. Okay. There it is. Yay. Look at that. Efficiency. So that's alarming. So we have to worry about food. We have to worry about oxygen production. We have to worry about endemic species disappearing. We have to worry about ourselves also in that equation. Here we go. Oh, nope. I'm wrong. Where am I supposed to go? Other things, yeah, oceans rising. You're going to see port cities going away. I think some estimates that I read were... Oh, I remember. I have to go all the way back at the beginning. Backtracking. Sometimes you got to do it. But yeah, another estimation or statistic that I read from this article was that we might as well deal with the rising oceans. The oceans are expected to rise between, what was it? Yay! I killed more enemies than were actually in the level. Isn't that neat? Only Doom will let you do shit like that. Oh yeah. That was, oh jeez. That was bad. I'm gonna die if I'm not careful here. Let's get some health. But between 3 and 10 feet, I think, fairly soon, before the end of the century for sure, because the entire article was geared around these things occurring before the end of the century, before we hit the year 2100. But yeah, and I think it said something along the lines of 600 million people. I forget their scripted events in Doom 64. Which was kind of groundbreaking too. I think that might have influenced the original Half-Life quite a bit. There's some interesting scripted sequences there too. Anyway, but something like 600 million people. Okay, that's twice the population of the United States, roughly. Live within 10 meters of sea level. Okay, and it's not just the coast that you have to worry about at that point. You have to worry about the groundwater. So places like, you know, the areas in Louisiana that Katrina devastated by raising and flooding and all that kind of stuff. What you're going to get is those areas are just going to turn into permanent lakes and ponds. And the water is not going to go away ever again. So those, you know, places that are near or below sea level are screwed. What did that accomplish? Did it accomplish anything? Oh, I have the blue key card. Okay, that's what that accomplished. So where's the blue door? Oh, hey. Why not? There it is. Oh, jeez! That was terrifying. So yeah, you have a, you know, your cat demon, yeah, stun lock. How do you like them apples? Can anybody hear me when I'm shooting that gun? I have the volume turned down fairly low, but yeah, 2 shotgun blasts will do it. Okay. And I feel like I'm about to get the rocket launcher too. That should be nice. Okay, teleporters. And then I think when I hit that button, all hell's gonna break loose. Get it, guys? Because of Doom? Anyway, so, yeah, I think I get a lot of cacodemons. No! Yes! I was right. Okay. Oh, jeez. That's more than I thought. It's at least, what, 6? 7? Oh my god. So yeah, what else do we have to worry about besides, you know, arable land moving And it takes a long time. It's a long process for land to become arable. So, you know, you can't just say, well, we'll just start growing tomatoes in Canada. Not really. That's not the way it works. You know, I mean, we will eventually probably have to, you know, move our agriculture elsewhere. But it takes a long time to prepare that soil. Oh, but I think, oh, yeah. Okay, there's a... They have invisible walls, too, which is fun. And now I'm invisible, which is also fun. That's a neat little design decision. Have an invisible wall give you invisible powers. Dog. But yeah, so... How many people are we looking to lose? Okay, 600 million to sea level changes. There are people starving to death now, so the agriculture thing is going to be a huge bad thing for a lot of people. Everybody, essentially. Uh-oh. I also read that increased temperatures leads to increased aggression in human beings. So if it's hot outside, you're going to be a little bit more irritable, which has contributed to, and this was shocking to me, I didn't know that things worked this way, contributed to things like armed conflict, war. So we can expect to see, you know, a causal relationship between rising temperatures and war. Which, if that, I mean, that's never good. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Okay. See, they make you backtrack, but they don't trick you too bad. Yeah. And that whole, well, no, I was going to say something about the game, but fuck it. 209% kills. I killed twice as many enemies as were in the level. Isn't that beautiful? You gotta love Doom, and it's sort of over the top. Although this game is calmer and more sober, you can tell the music is very subdued and stuff like that. The tone is entirely different. Jeez, come on. But you gotta love that sort of subtle sense of humor that it carries with it. Jeez. Not doing so well, guys. But yeah, so what else? What am I missing here? From the article. Within our lifetimes, we may just see some tough times. And by the end of the century, there's a distinct, a real possibility. I don't want to say it's, you know, likely or whatever, but it is possible that we might see large swaths of our planet become absolutely hostile, you know, inhospitable for human life. Parts of it already are. Parts of it are, heat waves are killing people by the thousands in a lot of record-breaking summers in some areas. I forget which areas, of course, because I don't have the article right in front of me. But, yeah, was that the one I needed? I don't think it mattered which one you hit. Boom! Alright, oh, nope. Hey, Rocky. Oh, God. That was just embarrassing. Let's switch back. Oh, jeez. There we go. I don't want to waste all my shotgun shells. And I'm not really making good use of the minigun either. So what else am I missing? What else am I not... getting here? It's bad. It looks real bad, is what I'm saying. The potential for disaster is quite high. Now, what are the odds? I don't know. You know, I'm not a scientist, obviously. I'm just a guy. I like to think I'm smart, but that doesn't mean anything. That's pretty much irrelevant. Not an expert, as I like to... Oh, our first barons. Or no, those aren't barons. Those are whatever the hell they're called here. Shred them. Shred them, rip and tear. But it's not looking good. I'm not an expert, okay? Don't, you know, quote me on any of this stuff. That's not... Usually not the best idea. Quote me. But it is something I've been thinking about, and it's something that, honestly, as a father, you know, I have to feel a little pang of guilt. Because the world that my children are going to inherit, and even the world that I'm going to inherit in my old age, if I make it that far, is concerning. You know, it's a little bit terrifying. Okay, yeah, I can see it. Oh! Stop. Oh, I'm gonna die. Okay, now I'm kind of okay. Jeez. How do I, Oh, you can just shoot it. What did I get? Oh, chain gun, just in case you didn't get it before the secret will allow you to have the chain gun. There you go. Shotgun's the best. I have a blue. I feel like I was supposed to get something else. Oh, health. So yeah, I guess that's it for the talk. But I kind of want to play the game a little bit more. Just keep an eye on things, and you know, if you're not among the converts of climate change or global warming, you know, with greenhouse gases, CO2, methane, that kind of thing. Oh, I remember the Arctic ice melting. There's, I mean, caused the oceans to rise, of course. And now I sound like an idiot, but the other issue with that is that a lot of really dangerous pre-human being diseases may be locked in that ice. So if the ice melts and the diseases escape, you know, we have to contend with that too. So starvation, heat, disease, it's just, I don't know, it paints a pretty grim picture. And a lot of these things are very likely to occur within, again, the next 30 to 82 years. I think I'm lost. Okay. So something to think about. Maybe do your own research into that and see what you find. Oh, I have the blue key. There's a blue door. Yay. Oh, jeez. Gotta love when they do that. Doom 3 again had a callback to this kind of design decision. So yeah, and it's a Doom staple, to be honest. But Doom 64 really, yeah, 130% kills. Doom 64 really emphasized those kinds of things. And they had monster clauses and stuff like that. Oh, I got the shotgun! Yay! I didn't already have that 3 levels ago. Oh, there's a button. Oh, jeez. Come on. There we go. Get some health. But yeah, I'll probably cut the video off much earlier than this. There's the yellow key. They're giving you the objective. They're showing you what you need to, you know, get. And I think in this level, you don't get the yellow key until way later. Oh my god. Oh, jeez. Oh, okay. I'll end it here, because I died. Okay. So that's Doom 64, everybody. It's pretty good. If I hit the button, of course, it restarts you at the beginning of the level, but you don't get to keep your guns. That's why they have random shotguns everywhere. It's an interesting thing. You can restart the game and re-get the guns, or you can just try to hang in there with no guns. So that becomes really harrowing in the later levels when, you know, you have the plasma rifle and the rocket launcher. Like, I had the rocket launcher just then. It's gone now. And then you die, and you're like, no, there's no way. There's no way I can come back from that. I think even if you load a level with the codes, it does that. It just starts you off with the pistol. Anyway, that's it. Global warming, scary, scary, scary shit. And, you know, oh, well. Why did I do that? Yeah. I don't even have armor. I'm dead. For sure. Never mind, maybe not. 4% health, how about that? So yeah, you can look forward to some interesting times in the coming decades, I guess. But, you know, I don't want to be pessimistic about it, or a doomsayer. I'm certainly not into that kind of thing. So yeah. Anyway, next time, maybe it'll be a better topic, maybe not. I'm thinking about doing genetic, biological determinism, which is fun. If you don't know anything about determinism as a philosophical concept, it's fun. So I think I'm going to do that next time. I'll have to pick a game that's appropriate for that, if I can find one. If not, I'm just going to do Rayman 2, The Great Escape. So look forward to that one. One of my favorite games, one of the best 3D platformers of all time. That's it. Like and subscribe. Subscribe and like. Hit that button. Do yourself that favor. And join us next time as we do one of these. Bye. Peace. Bye.